Up, everybody? It is King Smith, and this is one half of the Just Joe King podcast. We normally record on Wednesdays, but life got in the way. I asked Joe if we could reschedule to today, which is Thursday, April the 14th, and he said sure. And then life hit him. Not anything bad or anything. It's just, having to take care of priorities and responsibilities prevented us from going live today when we had planned. But to try and keep schedule, we actually decided to go solo today. So I'm just going to talk about what it means to have somebody's back. All right. Joe and I are both U.S. veterans. I served in the U.S. Air Force. He served in the U.S. Army. Think me and him both attained the same grade, or he might have been one grade higher than I did. We were in different service branches and completely different jobs. And besides that, one of the only other things that me and Joe have in common is that me and him are both gamers. Now, he games more hardcore than I do. Okay, I consider myself a casual gamer. I like the more casual aspects of gaming. I like the social aspects of gaming. So I'll get on and play with the homies, have fun. That's the way that I detox. Joe's a little bit more on the competitive side. But sometimes me and him will link up and game together. Outside of that, you know what? Actually, we have a lot more in common as I start thinking about things. Me and him are both fathers. All right, fathers of girls at that. He had a heat more than I did. Shout out to him and his family. But one thing that I know about Joe is that I can depend on him and vice versa, right? Vice versa. Uh, Okay, I'm not gonna get into like it wasn't anything bad. It's just with his changes, he asked me to help him out with something, right? And my day was full. I didn't say this. My day was full, but with what he asked me to help out, it wasn't anything too crazy, too off the wall. And I just simply said, sure, no questions asked. You know what I'm saying? As far and you know what, I'll even tell you what he asked me to do. He asked me to help him take out his dog so that his dog could use the restroom, right? Because he wasn't, back where he had needed to be, by planned or whatnot. And I'm not a dog owner. There's a reason why I'm not a dog owner because that comes with some responsibility that I simply don't want, right? But when he asked me to do it, I told him sure. I had to alter some things a bit that I had already had scheduled, but he didn't need to know that. You know what I'm saying? I just gave him the limitations of, hey, I can do it, but it'll be at such and such time, right? And that's just one small example of what it means to, have somebody's back. All right. Um, you know, on the grand scheme of things, is it a big deal? Depends on who you ask, right? But I look at that as, hey, he chose to ask me a question, not knowing if I was able to do it, A, or B, if I even wanted to, right? But for me, you know, if you're my brother, I got your back. Plain and simple. I got your back. All right. Now, there have been some instances of people that I've called brother in the past. All right. I don't consider my friends just friends, right? To me, if we're cool and we're tight, we're family. Like if you need something, I got you. There is a difference, however, on people that don't do for themselves or you try and, help them out, but they constantly make bad decisions. If you're somebody that constantly makes poor decisions in life, I can't help you. I won't help you. Plain and simple. All right. But if you're somebody that, has something happen, I got your back. There are people that I know that I can count on who will do the same. Plain and simple. No questions asked. They've got my back. All right. There have been people that I've called brother in the past that, for one reason or another, decided that, you know, we're not going to be cool anymore. It is what it is. I don't control what somebody thinks about me. I can only be me, right? That's pretty much all anybody can do, is they can just be themselves. And who people choose to allow to have in their life, and who they choose to, call family members or friends, then, that's on them. But I wanted to keep our every other week podcast going and just simply, remind the listeners and the viewers out there that it's always good to know that somebody's got your back. Okay? I think you build up that kind of capital with people by earning their trust. It's hard to get someone on your side if they can't trust you. At least that's how I feel. I don't care if you're family, like blood family. If I don't trust you, chances are you won't necessarily be able to depend on me. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So that's my message for today. That's our podcast for today. That's our audio for today. This is being streamed across both Facebook and YouTube. If you search Just Joking Podcast, you'll find us. I'm going to also put this out on our audio podcasting platforms. We're on Anchor, we're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, pretty much all major podcast platforms. That's where you'll be able to find us. Okay. And we have a TikTok account too. But that's just simply clips of stuff that we talk about and put on here. So, this is a solo episode. This is a brief episode. Come back in 2 weeks, where Joe and I will be on live, chopping it up like we normally do, checking in on each other, and reminding each other that we have each other's back.